Mr. Jensen, thank you for having us in this phenomenal trophy room. This is really impressive.
Thanks.
Where did everything start for you?
Well, it started back in Denmark when I was a kid, because I didn't want a toy for Christmas.
Okay.
I wanted animal books.
Okay.
And I dreamt about Africa. And then I took an education as a gamekeeper.
Okay.
Here you take a 2-week course in the Waterberg and then you're a PH. But in Denmark, it's a 4-year thing where you're an apprentice and you work from 4 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
And we educate in Denmark about 8 gamekeepers every year.
Okay.
And but then I finished my education, and my count that I worked for, he had another estate where he had taken over after his mom died, and he said that I could become the main head gamekeeper on that estate. But I wanted to experience a bit of the world, and I wanted to get to Africa.
Yes.
So I ended up with some Danish farmers in Zambia.
Okay.
Had my guns confiscated and learned quite a lot about Africa.
Okay. When was this?
This was in 1975.
That's quite some time ago.
Yes, it is, yeah. And I was very young. And then, well, I won't hide it, but I actually hated the locals so much that I wanted to join the war in Rhodesia. But I calmed down, because I came to Rhodesia and that was the most wonderful country. I think that year I had in that country must have been the best year of my life.
Yeah.
Because you could shoot a buffalo for 120 SIM dollars, and then a impala for 20 SIM dollars, and you could keep the meat.
Yes.
I remember shooting that eland up there for $120, and I actually sold the meat for $130.
Jeez.
So it was a dream for a young man and that, of course, I got caught by Africa in that way. And then I went back dutifully, as I had promised the Count, and I worked for him as a gamekeeper in 5 years. It was an interesting job, not only because of the bird shooting, which we mainly did with American and German clients, but also the bigger game. We had a very, very good population of fallow deer, and in 5 years, I culled 1,247 fallow deer.
Jeez. Yeah, that is...
With my 222 knockout, which is not legal, but never mind. But it was very good for the meat, because we sold it in Copenhagen. And those days, venison in Denmark was worth something.
Yes, yeah.
Now it's almost worthless. And it's a problem for the gamekeeper industry, because the pheasants, sometimes they get a caterpillar in and they dig a big hole and put them in.
Yeah, that is...
They cost more to handle than they can get a price for selling them.
Yeah, yeah, that's terrible. That makes no sense.
But anyway, this Africa was luring underneath all the time. And I had a lot of good clients from my time as a gamekeeper that I knew might come and visit me here if I made the move. So in 1980, I did it. And at the same time, we had the first time the exam for our hunting industry here.
Okay.
That was instituted at the same time. And I did the very first test that they wrote. And out of 170 people, I think we were only 27 that passed.
Oh.
Because, you see, all these farmers, they thought they could skin them. They thought they could do this, and they thought they see a wildebeest out there, but they might not be able to determine whether it's good enough to shoot or not.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of technicalities and things to consider, you know, when you want to become a professional hunter. So.
And then the whole thing is, of course, about personality. I had the advantage that I speak many languages. I speak German, I speak Danish, of course. And when you speak Danish, you can also handle clients from Sweden and from Norway.
Yes.
So it opened a market. And amazingly today, Denmark is the second biggest market in the world after US. And remember, that's out of a population just of 5 million people. And we're the second biggest market. It's unreal. So the interest for hunting in Denmark is huge.
Okay, so that is still one of the countries that frequents South Africa.
Yes.
Okay.
In the beginning, my marketing was based on attending some shows in Denmark, and I also did a lot of lecturing in hunting associations. But eventually, 25 years ago, I weighed up the cost of going to a show and the extra sales that I would get on those shows.
Yeah.
And then I figured out that I could rather stay at home, make do with a couple of less safaris. And it worked for me amazingly well. I've never been to a show since.
Okay. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's cheap.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the internet, because I'm very active
Yes.
on social media, and that works very well for me.
Yeah, I actually had a look at one of your YouTube videos about the estate here and the trophy room.
Yeah.
And, you know, a few of these trophies and stories popped up, which was very interesting. So you've got some interesting stories to tell in like the walrus.
Yeah.
There's so many species here. How many species do you have?
I don't even know. No, I'm not a record hunter, and I don't count numbers or.
Yeah.
But I find it interesting because when I go hunting, I do something that much more hunters should do. Also see the country where I go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I like culture. So when we go to Australia shooting water buffalo, then we also go and see an opera in the Sydney Opera House.
Yes.
So we combine the two. I think it's very important.
Definitely.
That you learn the countries. And I think it's been very rewarding, especially hunting the deer species of the world, which is now my specialty. And I'm at 18 different species now.
Okay.
And that has taken me basically to 18 different countries.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
It's fantastic. From Alaska to New Zealand.
Yeah.
That is really a good hobby.
Yeah. Where did you hunt the walrus?
That was in Arctic Canada.
Okay.
200 kilometers from the North Pole. So as about as far as you can come.
Can go.
And I make a lot of bonus points from using my credit cards. So I fly for free.
Okay.
But I could only fly as far as Ottawa.
Okay.
And when you get to Ottawa, that ticket up to Igloolik via Iqaluit in Arctic Canada cost that time 24,000 rand.
Jeez.
For that flight. That last flight.
My word, okay.
And we were only two eventually on the last leg, 2 passengers. And the other guy, he was selling tomatoes. They cost $5 each up there. And he said to me, "What on earth are you doing here?" From South Africa. I said, "No, I'm going hunting walrus." So he said, "Oh, you must watch out because they lose a lot of people out there." Okay. Anyway, I arrived there and there was a man in a blue overall telling me that his staff had a burnout. So I'd just have to sit and wait for a couple of days so they could go out. And the weather was beautiful. The sun was shining.
Okay.
And eventually this half-drunk Eskimo, it turned out they had had a baptizing in town. So the whole town was drunk, inclusive the man with the key for the National Museum. He was also incapacitated. They could never find him because I wanted to see the museum.
Yes.
But anyway, so after 2 days of sunshine, the weather turned really bad, and we had this guy tumbling into the entrance of what they called a hotel. It must have been a hotel because it had a sign. They never put it up. But it said hotel, and it was 4 rooms sharing 1 little bathroom. And it cost the same as Plaza in New York.
Word.
But anyway, he said to me, "No, the weather is very bad." So I said to him, "Yes, you should have been here the last 2 days. It was really good." Then I got a call from my agent in Quebec that I had insulted him, that I mustn't say things like that.
Oh.
Because they're very, very sensitive. I mean, in Africa, people can be sensitive, but up there, it's even worse.
Even worse.
They feel very much haunted by civilization and so on. And as a matter of fact, if you paid enough, you could tar the whole place if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But they had
not interested, yeah.
But so I had to calm down and wait for another day. And the next problem was, I sat with an American millionaire there called Jay Link. He's actually very famous. He's the guy that owned this Link's beef jerky in the US.
Oh, okay.
You find that all over the world. And so I thought, what, this American, he had been with his friend who got one the first day, but the next 4 days they didn't see any. So I sort of said to my agent, am I on his extended hunt or is he on mine?
Mine, yes.
So he said, no, he's on your hunt. So instead of making enemies, I took a little talk to him and I said to him, listen, I've flown all the way from South Africa to do this, and so it's my hunt, but I'll take you along, and 10 to 1, if we find them, we can shoot 2. And that's exactly what happened. And we became the best of friends to this very day.
My word. Interesting. Yeah. And I mean, that should have been an interesting experience in the cold, and trying to find them is also not easy.
We searched 72 kilometers of ice ridge with the boat before we found them. But then we suddenly found plenty.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not that they run away like the game in Africa.
I mean, it's not like they're threatened by anything over there.
But we have to make very sure that the ice flake they're lying on is of such
big enough that it doesn't tip over. Eh?
Yes, that's the big thing. And then shoot it so that it doesn't make any movements.
Yeah, because what does those things weigh? I mean, that's
1.5 ton.
Yeah.
They basically lose 70% of those that are shot. They disappear.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it'll just drop off the piece of ice and then
it'll just slide off.
Yeah.
But mine, it dropped like that, and when we got closer, I gave it one more on the neck. The other guy, he shot his in the head, but I didn't want that because I wanted.
Yeah, you wanted the trophy. Yeah.
I wanted the skull.
Yeah.
And then we put artificial teeth into the mouth.
I see. Okay.
So, but all an adventure. But I found out that I was not the first one from South Africa that shot a walrus.
Okay.
Actually, the guy from Karen Beef.
Oh.
He shot one before me.
Oh, really?
Yes. He did. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is just, I mean, for anybody, watching the footage of we just flew the drone inside here just to get a little bit more of what's going on here. I mean, there's so many interesting animals here that I've never seen in my life before.
Yeah, thanks.
And, every trophy here has got a story attached to it and a memory.
Absolutely. Also a conservation story, like my trip to Abu Dhabi, shooting the Arabian mountain gazelle and the sand gazelle. It's very interesting because we were there the second year where they had opened for hunting.
Okay.
The game there was nearly eradicated. And now rich people reintroduced them, some of them from South Africa. Okay. The Arabian oryx was actually taken from South Africa and put back into the United Arab Emirates.
Yes, yeah.
But what it boils down to is, what are you? Are you a hunter or are you a trophy collector?
Yeah.
The sad story is that many clients nowadays are trophy collectors more than they are hunters.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky to work with my Scandinavian clients because the big majority of them are real hunters and they want to walk and shoot the game on film.
Yeah, you want to have that full experience. I mean,
yes.
Hundreds of years ago, we were forced to hunt to look after ourselves and feed our families. So it's in our DNA. We are all hunters at heart. And having opportunities to go and hunt, these different animals in their natural setting, I think that's also, like you said,
But in Denmark, it's a question about you learn this often from your family, and it's things that go and just a thing like you can never walk over a dead animal in Denmark that's lying on the ground. Never step over it. You can't pick a pheasant or for that matter a guinea fowl up in the legs. Yes. You pick it up with
the neck.
By the neck, yeah. And a fox you pick up not by the tail, but by the hind legs. And there are so many unwritten rules. And it's just like on the golf course, you learn this social thing from experience.
Yeah.
And I think some of the modern trophy hunters perhaps just lack a little bit of that.
I think that's also part and parcel why we started this channel, is to share our stories with potential clients, but also people that are looking to get into the sport of hunting.
Yes, sure.
And getting behind the culture of hunting and conservation. I think they go hand in hand.
The trophies can't talk, and for some people that's very lucky.
Yeah.
When you think of what our industry here has developed into, certain sections of this industry is no longer much about hunting, but mainly about money and trophy collection.
Unfortunately,
and it's very sad to me. And I've worked very much against the canned lion story and made sure that if you're stupid enough to come from Scandinavia and hunt a lion in South Africa, then at least you should know that it's let out of a box.
Yeah.
And I myself, I would never go to a small little fence, and even though I would like one more deer species, there is a limit to what I'll do.
Yeah. No, definitely. No, there's ethics involved, absolutely.
Yes. And it should be taught to the professional hunters, these hunting schools, apart from learning to measure trophies and estimate them and all the other things, learn them some ethics as well.
Absolutely, 100%.
That's my advice.
No, definitely. Thank you so much for letting us into this.
Yeah, please.
Fantastic. Thank you.